Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. Welcome to another live plan with me. Today is going to be a fun one. I'm going to be planning out my week and roasting influencer trends and influencer culture because a lot of stuff when I did my planner launch roast went back to that. And so I figured I'd do a separate roast of that. On top of that, I will be giving you some information about workshop week coming up because I'll be a teacher during that. And just getting my planner, trying to use up all the pages. So you can hear me okay. Thank you so much. Lots of people, like all of you in the Pacific Northwest, I feel like I'm living where you are right now because we have had rain nonstop for like off and on for a few weeks now, and that's not normal for Denver. So it's very gloomy and green and wet outside. I'm not hating, I'm just noticing. All right, so before we get started on everything else, this is my Moxie Life Planner. It's the week of Monday, June 5th through June 11th. This is a vertical planner. I'm using another Fern Creek Stickers Can I talk? No. Fern Creek Stickers Mystery Box Kit. Fuck my life. Fern Creek Stickers Mystery Kit. It was June of whatever year it was. I bought this from her vault sale. The way she does these kits is they have plenty of stuff to do 2 weeks at least. And so you can see here there's a week's worth of labels. I used up a shit ton of stickers by using some of these that I had already used once before this last month. So this is my last one, I think, of the mystery kit leftovers. So I'm going to see how much of this I can get through, how many sheets we'll put in my empties bucket for next month. So exciting times. I'm using my Statler Pigment Fine Liner, or Statler Triplus Fine Liner, because that's the one I've been just using lately. It works fine on the stickers. I can't stop yawning. Holy shit. It's the rain, I think. I see that everybody... Ooh, Napa? My old stomping grounds in Sacramento, Northern Colorado, Florida, San Francisco, Spokane, Seattle, Nova Scotia. Got a lot of people in here in the comments from different places. I do need to grab I think I'll use this one. What do you think? Yeah, we'll use this dot pen. This is the Island Coral Zig Color dot pen. And yeah, I didn't pull any washi tape or anything because I want to just use what's on these stickers. All right. Historically hot Puerto Rico, Camille. Oh my God. Anyway, so let's get started. And while I'm getting started putting my date covers down, I'm missing exactly one number sticker. So I'm wondering, because it's the 11th, if I use like a teal colored pen, I wonder if I would be able to make it kind of look right. Hold on. I feel like one of these twin tones might have the answer because they've got that really skinny writing tip. I wonder if there's this one, maybe? Or this one? Let's see. Or maybe this one. Let's test these out and see kind of what colors they look like. Maybe. This is the darker version of that, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's see how this looks. 11. Good enough for me. Look at that. All right. Let's push these over here for right now. And grab my tweezers. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to start laying these date covers down. And while we're doing that, I will talk about workshop week briefly. And then we will move into the roast. So, also, before I move into the roast, I need some help from you. One of my patrons, who I love dearly, said foil as a roasting thing. I have no idea what they're talking about. Are people using foil in their planners? I was like foil on the post, but I don't know if they saw it or not. So if you know what they meant by foil, is there like a trend of foiling your planner? Like color foil or like aluminum foil? Is there a trend like that I should roast? Let me know in the comments below, so I kind of have an idea of what in the hell is going on. But besides that, let's talk about workshop week. So if you don't know what workshop week is, it's like an online kind of conference situation where they get together a whole bunch of different teachers teaching different crafty things, and each teacher teaches a workshop. And then what they do is it's for a whole week. All the workshops are airing at different times. Sometimes people are able to show up online during the workshop and like talk about it. And then it's free. And what happens is there's a schedule, and then each workshop is available for 24 hours for free after it airs. I don't know if 24 hours for free after it airs. And then if you want access to it after that, or you want access to everything, you can buy the vault, which is all of the pre-recorded workshops in one spot. So my work, there's a lot of cool ones. There's like different like lettering classes, and there's drawing classes, there's painting classes, there's crafty, there's some that I think are really good for kids. And each one is based around like a project that you do. So my class is actually about easy planner doodling, so that you don't have to use stickers as much. I just mixed up the days, Wednesday and Saturday. My bad. The 2 days that I don't do dialysis. Isn't that weird? So mine's about easy planner doodling, and the way that my project works is I'm actually filling out kind of a mock week to like kind of give you an idea of how it could work, but I give you enough info so that you can adapt it to whatever you want to do, which I think is fun. And then I'll be giving away afterwards, or they're doing giveaways at some point, I'll be giving away a couple copies of my doodling book, which is a great companion to it. But there's a lot of other ones that are super interesting. So if you want to sign up, my affiliate link is in the description of my video at the very top. And but if you don't want to use my affiliate link, that's fine too. I don't fucking, it's your life. You do with it what you will. But it's really cool. I was pretty honored to be asked. It's a lot of great teachers and a lot of cool sounding classes. So if that's something you're interested in, my class will be on the 13th. Is that right? Yeah, it's the 13th. So it's a Tuesday at 2 p.m. Mountain time. The time on the schedule will be 4 p.m. Eastern because they're all in Eastern time. So it'll be on. It's about 45 minutes. And then I am supposed to be going live with them for about 10 or 15 minutes after my class just to answer any questions. And I'll be in the chat as well. Fingers crossed. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out down below. But if you're not interested in it, that's fine too. Because, like I said, it's your own fucking life, my guys. Thursday and Friday too. Fuck! Doing it upside down is what threw me. Thank you. This is why I like doing things live, because then you notice things before I do. Sometimes when I'm filming a plan with me, I don't notice until I'm editing the plan with me. And that just tells you how fucking on the ball I am, aka not very. Foiled stickers. Okay, I'm going to go back and look at the comments about foiling. I almost just put Friday down upside down. Holy shit, I'm a hot mess. All right. It's funny, I don't mind foiled stickers. I think they're pretty, as long as the foils all have to match. Unless it's like a rainbow foil where the colors are obviously going to be a little off on different from each one because it's a rainbow sheet. My foils all have to be the same. I don't want to mix my metals in my planner spreads. Glitter, however, I've noticed glitter stickers that generally have like that same glittery texture. I fucking hate those because, oh my God, I've got the burps. I'm so sorry. Because I don't like the feel of them, and I don't like the way it gets like the herpes of glitter all over your planner. It doesn't stay. Anyway. All right. So like aluminum foil to, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm asking. Foil everywhere. I have not even noticed that. Okay, no, it's not a hot mess. It might be a hot mess plan with me, Katie, but not on purpose. I should do one of those. Maybe my next plan with me that I do live in July will be a hot mess plan with me. That actually could be a lot of fun. Because it's been a while it's been a while. Anyway, okay, so that's workshop week. If you have any other questions, just drop them in the chat. If you could put workshop week or WW at the front of your question, then I'll know it is. Because, it's not that I'm like hunting for those questions specifically. It's more like I am kind of out of it, and because of how rainy it is, and I took some Benadryl because I have a rash on my fistula arm, and itching while you're on dialysis really fucking sucks because you can't do anything about it. Anyway, so I will check for those questions while I am doing this. But in the meantime, let's get into the roast. And if you have things you would like me to roast, if you have like a specific topic that you would like me to roast involving planner influencers or influencers in general about culture. I'm not talking about specific people, but like stuff that people do. If you have that, just put roast in your comment as well, and so I'll have an idea of what I'm looking at. Anyway, got the dates in. That was an adventure, my guys. All right, so I'm gonna go to my patrons first. We've got Before the Pen Planning. Now, when I plan my week, whether I'm doing a live plan with me or not, when I plan my week, generally speaking, I plan out everything I can plan out at that point, right? Everything that's on my schedule already, and then all the things I want to get done, I plan those out as best I can. And then as the week goes on, I finish filling it in. So I don't think I am a before the pen planner. The way I understand it as before the pen planning is people stickering the fuck out of their planner, but not actually putting any plans into it. Maybe because they want to keep them private or whatever. Fuck. This annoys me. It annoys me on 2 levels. Okay. Level the first. I'm going to put this week up here. No, we're going to put to do. Level the first. It annoys me because it's called a plan with me video. If you're gonna do just stickers and you're not going to put any plans in your planner because you want to keep your life private, then I get that. I'm not going to hate on that. However, my 2 responses to that are either call it something else, call it a decorate with me, or if you really want to call it a plan with me, but you don't want to put any of your plans in it because you don't want to show your personal life, then why the fuck are you making content about it? Make content about something else. Like, what the hell? Don't call it a plan with me if it's not a plan with me. Okay, I'm going to answer a question here. Workshop question. Is the drawing workshop good for beginners? Well, the one I'm doing is definitely good for beginners. There's some that are more beginner focused and some that are less beginner focused throughout the whole thing. The vault, if you want to buy all the things and watch them whenever you want to, it's like $49 for a shit ton of stuff. It's like 40 plus workshops. But if you only want to watch mine, then I would say either tune in the day of or watch it sometime in the 24 hours between 2 p.m. on the 13th and 2 p.m. on the 14th. Then it's free. So yeah, so that's my thought on before the pen planning is like, if you're gonna do that with whatever, if you're gonna do that, then fucking do it, but don't call it a plan with me because you're not planning anything. You're decorating, you know, like, and I'm like, well, don't gatekeep what planning is. I'm not gatekeeping what planning is. I'm like, make the content if you want to, but just say, you know, decorate my planner with me. That's a great title. You know, some people will watch that. They're into that. They don't care about the plans. They want to see the stickers. Sticker my planner with me. Decorate my planner with me. Why call it plan with me when you're not actually planning anything? That annoys me. So Monica, I do before the week before the pen, and we'll talk about my ideas, but don't write because it includes a lot. And see, like, I think that's a great idea, especially if you're like, you bought like a happy planner book that's new and everybody's like, that's awesome. I'm going to show you how I want to use this happy planner book in my planner. That doesn't mean you're planning, right? That just means you're putting create a planner spread with me. That's another idea. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels a little bit more accurate. All right. And then the second one is planning in 80 different planners a week for the socials. So again, this is going to go back. I swear this is gonna sound like semantics. I'm gonna put this extra habit tracker in for my plants because even though I thought I didn't need them in my habits this month, I'm neglecting them shamefully. So, so the way I feel about planning in different planners, just like for the gram, is that, again, I know some people really love doing that, and if you're making it for content to show people different ways to use different planners, then okay, I can get that. But there's a point where, to me, it doesn't feel like, it feels like you're it feels like QVC. Maybe that's what I'm trying to grasp for. It feels like the home shopping network of planning, right? So you're planning in 25 different planners over the course of every single week with your affiliate links and everything else. It feels more like infomercials for the planners than something. So if I want to like learn more about X planner, then I would go to you, and that's fine. But there's like a level of it where it's like, you just recognize what you're doing is, and there was another one that I saw on either my Patreon or somewhere where I was talking about people using planners specifically because of their relationship with the company and they want to continue to get free product. Like, again, it's another thing that I have seen before for years in the past. Hey, look, by the way, I did my weekly thing for once. Go me. So the point I'm making is that to me, people who use 100 different planners all the time, it feels really excessive. It really dings on my why do you buy so much shit kind of thing. And it feels like the home shopping network. If you love jumping from planner to planner all the fucking time, then you do you, boo. But that's how it feels to observe it. As an observer, it feels like the home shopping network. Vicky, I haven't thought about this. I do before the pen, and when I do a video, I talk about my plan, but there's no way I'm going to say in which company do the assessment. When I travel, I'll put an airplane sticker and say I have a trip. No, see, and Vicky, that's not what I'm talking about, because I do that too. There are certain aspects, like if my kids are going to fly somewhere, I'm not going to put the details of their flight in until after the plan with me, but I'll show you how I'm planning to, like, I put in my packing for the kids, or making sure that they get packed and that they have the airplane, and how do we manage our days. That's still planning. You don't have to put details in. But like, if it's just stickers and you're just laying them in because of the aesthetics of it, then that's not really planning, if that makes sense. I also, side note, and it doesn't, it happens mostly when I'm in the process of working on, when I have my work planner and my personal planner all together. Some of you may have eagle eye caught this. I used to use acronyms a lot so that I could say I was working on this project, but I wouldn't necessarily go into details about it. Like, for example, if I'm working on stuff for Chrissy-Ann Designs, I'll put CAD list. I won't talk about the details of it because I'm not allowed to. So, like, there is that. All right. And then there's the foil thing. Talking about foiled stickers, I'm assuming, and foiled other things. I already kind of mentioned, I actually think I love foil. It's hard for me to roast foil because I think it's really pretty, but I don't use it very often. If you have to write on it, I hate that. If I'm going to use it as like washi tape or something, then I am going to, make sure that all of the what I dislike, and this is an aesthetic thing, you may like it, I don't like mixed metals. I will not use like a holographic foil and then a silver foil on the same planner spread because that's going to fucking irk the shit out of me. But that's all I really got to say about that. And so then one of my patrons brought up candles, and this also came up in the Instagram things, the aesthetic, in quotes, the aesthetic minimalist setup, mixing a hot drink, big fucking plant, messy bun vibe. Candles, those sorts of things. It's funny. Like, I get it. I get why people do that because a certain aesthetic tends to, like, if things look a certain way, then that, if it's a popular way, then you have a higher chance of getting popular. You know, it's the paradox of the internet. The idea you would think of like social media and everybody making content is to meditate, is so that you can see all sorts of different ideas, right? As opposed to everybody looking the same. But with the way algorithms are, and the way that algorithms tend to, is that crooked? Yes, it is. The way that algorithms tend to live their best algorithmic life is to show us what is popular and then show us more of that. So it rewards people who do things that people want to see because they keep seeing it over and over again, which is like the cycle of seeing the same things. Like when I plan, the reason you don't see me do an aesthetic planner setup is because my office, as pretty as it can be with all the painting and stuff, my desk is a hot goddamn fucking mess. Let me show you. Allow me to remove my camera. I hope this doesn't make you sick. But let me show you what it looks like at my current desk. And this is pretty clean for me, okay? I'm going to unscrew the camera. Right? Oops, there's me. Looking, hi. Oh, it's all upside down, but like, look at that. Over there, it's a bunch of my Gamsols out because I'm working on fuckery flowers. It's not aesthetic. It's as pathetic. So, yeah, it's a set. Think of it as a set, as a movie set, except it's a set for your planner shit. That's the way, like, I feel like sometimes that's what it is a set. Roast, ASMR loud slurping of a said aesthetic cup of beverage. That grosses me out. I try to edit my mouth noises out. I'm not always good at it, but like this, okay, trigger warning, ASMR. It's my water. Yeah, that weirds me out. Like I don't need to hear your mouth noises. If I wanted that, I would tune into a fucking mukbang or something. And I don't want to watch that because it grosses me out. All right. Okay, where's my phone? Yeah, you hate that the IG aesthetic has been... Okay, so it's funny. I was watching a video. I don't remember what it was, but I was watching a video recently that was talking about the usage of the word aesthetic as a noun instead of a verb. And they were talking about the same thing. They were like, it's not an aesthetic. You have an aesthetic table. You've made some choices of your aesthetic, whatever. Like, it just... Yeah, it's a thing. All right. So next on my list, let's pull another one. These are not in any particular order. I'm just pulling these out of Instagram. Anything that looks like Hailey Bieber. I think the Hailey Bieber thing that annoys the shit out of me is that 99% of the trends that I've seen her like create are fucking shit that I saw in the 90s. Like the whole lip gloss thing. Like that was what all the cholas did. I grew up in like Central California. I grew up in chola country, and that's what they did. Because they couldn't find lipstick that matched their skin tone. Like, what the hell? You know, or the donut glazed nails. Isn't that just like a sheer pink? Like, what the hell? I don't get it. I'm too old to understand the Hailey Bieber shit. 5-hour morning routines. This also goes back to what some of you have been saying about the person who did the morning routine that starts at 3:30 in the morning. Oh my God. Okay, so I have AM routine on here. I've done a video of what my dialysis morning routine looks like. Allow me to first I want to lay some full boxes down, but I don't have enough full boxes to do what I've been doing, which is cover the whole to create that washi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fudge it. First, I'm going to put the weekend sticker down, and I'm leaving myself 2 lines for my top item of the day. So there's the weekend sticker. And then we'll put one of these full boxes down. We'll put this green one here in the same kind of area. Make sure that the layering is done in the correct order. I hate when I have dry mouth sounds and I have to listen while I edit. Yeah, for me, it's a lot of sniffling, especially lately. My allergies have been so bad. I've basically had a runny nose for like 6 months straight. And so there's a lot of that I edit out of my videos. And I probably missed them too. But suffice it, if you heard one, know that there's like 14 more where that came from. So, okay. The early morning routine. And then the hella long morning routine. There's a level of... This is not going to work. I only have 2 more left. I have 2, plus I have this one with the Monday through Sunday. But I don't know what I would use that for. Oh, wait, I have an idea. Put that one here. Now watch this. I can cover that up. Actually, we'll put this on Wednesday because Wednesday is my day off of dialysis, so it's a good day to run errands. So what I'll do is I'll put one of these check boxes. Are they the same amount? Yeah, they level about the same size. So we'll do that right here. We'll cover that up as best as possible. Look at that. Actually, let's try this again. All right, so back to the early morning routine. If you're a morning, I'm not a morning person, okay? I took that test, the test that's supposed to tell you like what your like time of day is or whatever. And I'm the one who falls squarely in the middle, right? I'm the one whose ideal life would be going to sleep at like 10 and waking up at 7 or something like that, right? Going to sleep at 11 and waking up at 7. And so I like getting up at 6 when I feel good enough to pull myself out of bed at 6 because I like the light at 6. But feeling that good is very rare for Cindy. So it doesn't happen very often. My usual wake up time is between 6:30 and 7, purely to run errands. Look at that. Woohoo. Okay. My evening routine, my morning routine, however you want to put it, is basically me trying to survive them. It was different when I had kids. When I had kids, my morning routine was very much like wake up, get the kids ready, get myself ready. And I mean, even with RJ, this year I may have him walk to school just because it'll be a little easier on me. But in terms of dialysis and everything else, so I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take these 2 big stickers and just layer them like it's a half box or a full box right here. See? Look at that. We just layered them. There we go. That does it. That uses up some of the stick. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm the bear, Katie. There's the bear, there's the lion, there's the wolf, and there's the dolphin. The dolphin is the person with the totally like back ass words to like how the world works, sleep schedule. I think that's Jesse. Anyway, yeah, I'm like a middle of the day person, generally speaking. Let me put some weather in while we're talking. Anyway, so I get this idea of like trying to like live your best life or whatever, start your morning on your terms. I understand that. And like part of the reason I wake up at like 6:30 instead of rolling directly out of bed, looping up my arm for dialysis and taking Lila to daycare, which I do on some mornings, is purely because I feel better when my life has some sense of normalcy in the morning. And it takes me a little bit of time to get there. But it's still like I get up, I go make the coffee, like I get the coffee pot going, and then I go get in the shower, get dressed, make myself my smoothie. And I don't make a smoothie because I want to be like a super healthy that girl. I make the smoothie because I need to eat something with like some nutrients in it in the morning that won't make me puke on dialysis. So that's why I make a smoothie. It has nothing to do with wanting to drink green juice or cleanse my toxins. Fuck that noise. But it's mostly just because I want to eat something that will help me feel halfway decent when I start dialysis without making me barf my guts out. Because again, when you're sitting in a dialysis chair and you can't go anywhere and you have to puke, it's miserable. Even if you get a barf bag in front of you, it still sucks because you're sitting there puking and you can't clean your face. It's awful. It sucks. You don't want it. You really don't want it. So I think it's a certain like aspirational lifestyle, but I think the thing that gets lost in the aspirational lifestyle, like if you want to watch something to aspire to, then fucking watch it. Enjoy it. I watch those like morning routine videos sometimes because I find them to be really good white noise. Do you know what I'm saying? To kind of have them on the background, something I don't really need to pay attention to, but can kind of be soothing noise in the background. I find those kinds of morning routine videos to work better for me as white noise than, say, lo-fi music. If I listen to music, I want to like sing along and dance to it. If I'm trying to like zone out, that's not really the best way for me. The best way for me is to watch something mind-numbing, and I find those videos to be relatively mind-numbing. The problem with them, as I see it, is that not everybody has the luxury to do that. I know somebody mentioned in the comments that they used to get up at 3:30, but that's because of what time their job started. I used to work at 4 a.m. at Trader Joe's. There was a while where I was working at 4 a.m. and I had to commute an hour, so I would have to get up super early. There were other times where I didn't have to commute very far, but I still worked at 3 a.m. or at midnight to noon because I was working in the bakery and at Safeway, and it was the holidays, and so you had to get in there early to start the bread and everything. So, but then I would come home and I would sleep. Like, I can't imagine waking up that early, spending 3 hours on your morning routine, then working, then having to do the rest of the shit in your life and still be able to stay awake. Like when I was working at 4 a.m, like I needed to be in bed by 8 to be able to get some reasonable amount of sleep. But when you have like 3 and 5-year-old kids going to bed at 8, like they're usually getting in bed around that point, and then you have to get yourself ready for bed, and then you have to try and fall asleep, and that's fucking hard to fall asleep, no matter how tired you are. Sometimes you hit that point of diminishing returns where you're so tired, but you're not sleepy. You know, it's awful. It's a terrible place to be, and working those weird hours really, really just makes that your life. And it sucks. And so when I see those videos, all I can think about is must be nice to have no responsibilities besides yourself. If they're content creators for a living, then I know for a fact that they can arrange their schedules however they want to and get through it. And like, that's a privilege that I don't know gets pointed out enough. That like, yeah, there are people who live their lives like that. And they are extremely lucky to be in the position to be able to do that and not have other people depending on them for their schedules, to be able to, they could do that just one day and then sleep in the next day if they wanted to. They don't have to worry about clocking in somewhere. They don't have to worry about being alert when they're ringing customers up or when they are, having to drive around and be alert. If they get to stay at home all day, they don't have to worry about being tired, right? That bugs me. That kind of aspirational shit bugs me sometimes because it feels like it's this ideal way to live in your 20s. My 20s was not like that. And I know there are a lot of people whose 20s were not like that. It makes me feel old. Maybe that's what it is. It makes me feel old to think to myself, like, is this what the youth is getting up to these days? God damn it. Did I just okay boomer myself? You did Safeway Bakery, Brittany? Yeah, it's a fucking grind. Like, I loved cake decorating, and I really loved eating bakery goods when they came out of the oven, but fuck, dude, working at the Safeway Bakery is not for the faint of heart. If you would like to know what my morning routine looks like in a quick sum up of what it looks like lately, it's either, now that it's summertime, I don't have to take RJ to school, it's a little bit more fudged. Usually I've been waking up around 7, and I hit my snooze, and then I get out of bed at 7:15. And then I get in the shower, and then I get out of the shower, and I put lidocaine cream on my dialysis access so that it will start to get numb. It needs to be on there for at least half an hour, and then I cover it with either saran wrap, or lately I've been using Tegaderm, like non-occlusive bandages, because the saran wrap, I'm having a lot of irritation issues around my fistula, like rashes and things like that from the adhesive, and the Tegaderm doesn't seem to be triggering that, so I'm trying that. Anyway, get that covered, go downstairs, make my smoothie, make the coffee, grab Layla's lunch, take her to daycare. Then by the time I come back, usually we're about ready to start dialysis, so I'll make my bed, get all my dialysis shit set up, wash my arm off, do all my vitals, and then we get started with dialysis. And that's my morning routine. It's so fucking aesthetic. All right. So now I'm going to get started with my, I need to put something down here. So I don't have enough washi tape to do my usual thing. So I was thinking, what if we'll get to that later. We'll worry about that later. But we do have these little meal things, so we'll put those down there. All right. So another roast is being on a diet and talking about it every vlog. So So I am a child of the 80s and the 90s. I was born in 1980. My mother was a big lady. Now, my dad did not give a shit about whether or not she lost weight because he loved her gigantic butt. My sisters both got my mom's gigantic butt. I have my dad's flat butt, unfortunately for me. So I wasn't really raised. My mom was never really super hardcore into diet culture, in part because we were poor. And so it wasn't always a question of eating the right foods to lose weight. It was a question of, can we afford food this week at all? So there's that, right? But then on top of that, there were the occasional times when my mother would be on like Dexatrim. And I remember Dexatrim specifically because I remember the little capsules. And then if you broke them open, they did this in the commercial. They're all little beads of medicine inside the capsule and you could like pour them out. My sister and I, we tried to do that once and we got in trouble because my mom was like, these are expensive. Don't fuck with my diet pills, right? That was about all I got from my mom. My grandma, on the other hand, was very steeped in diet culture to the point where when my sister lost 60 pounds, gained and lost 60 pounds in rapid succession after my dad died, my grandma's comments were not about her mental health, but about her weight. And when my grandma was dying last year, I love my grandma dearly. I miss her. But dude, when my grandma was dying last year, she had lost so much weight. She was like barely there. And I remember her making a point to me at some point the last couple times I got to see her about how good she looked because she was sick. Like my cousin also lost a bunch of weight when she was diagnosed with Crohn's, and my grandma made comments about how good she looked. And my cousin was like, I am literally the sickest I've ever been in my life. So when it comes to, and then there's been some other times in my life with like diet culture and everything else, all of that to say, I am not super scarred by diet culture the way some people are. I'm not super scarred by it. I do have some scars, but I don't have hella scars. I'm going to put these washi tapes down because Jesse and Layla will be at the office. Layla and Jesse will be at the office post-dialysis on Tuesday and then all day on Wednesday. But the reason I'm saying this, I know people who are scarred, and let's not even talk about the way some people who are overweight or fat people can be treated at doctor's offices. My sister's whole situation with trying to get a transplant and not being able to at first because of her BMI being too high. Like, I recognize how hard diet culture can be for some people. And when somebody's content shifts to them being like all about their diet, and that's when that wasn't it before, I really just wish they would be better at letting you know so you could not watch. Because that kind of thing coming from left field can be really hard for people. And just be what's the word? What are we looking for here? Use these little flags for the office. Be considerate is maybe the word I'm looking for. All right. Pushing everyone to buy planners in April and May when they don't start until July or August. Dude, okay, so now I know for certain that there are some planners that sell out. But in general, a lot of companies have seemed to get a better hold of their supply chains. And like, I can understand if you really want something to buy in when it first comes out so that you have it in case it sells out. But like, if it's not going to sell out, then don't feel so pushed. Holy shit. Influencers are going to push. They're going to push because they get incentives in terms of their affiliate links, but they also might get incentives in terms of how much their link gets used in a certain period of time. There's one company I know for sure that does that. Jesus, goal setting. But like, to me, it's like, buy this shit now before another company puts shit out and you might decide you want theirs instead. Like, that sucks. Just let the launches come, then make your decision. It's not going to sell out. And if it does sell out, maybe you didn't need it anyway. All right. Those fucking travel mugs that are like 100 pounds. I'm assuming you're referring to those Stanley cups. Now, I have a Hydro Flask, which I know with stickers on it because, what was it? What was that one app? And they were calling the girls like those, like Emma Chamberlain and all that. This is like 400 trend cycles previous to this. The Stanley Cup thing, I don't understand why so many people buy so many of them. I don't get it. It's a fucking cup. I have 2 Hydro Flasks for me. I have this big chonker, and then I have my skinnier one because that one fits in my cup holder, but this one holds more water. And the reason I like Hydro Flasks is because they keep the ice and the water cold for X amount of time. It's a collecting hobby. Those Stanley Cups. That's what it is. It's another collecting hobby. And I'm not going to shit on people for collecting, but when I see people with piles of those cups, all I can think is that they're $40 a pop. That's all I can think about. Like when I had to buy my skinnier Hydro Flask to replace my other skinny Hydro Flask that I accidentally lost somewhere, I was like, oh, that hurts. Ooh, I don't want to spend another $40 on a fucking Hydro Flask. Ooh, I don't want to, but I want to because they're so helpful for me. But yeah. Visco Girls. Thank you, Portia. That was exactly what I was trying to remember the name of. Oh, and Wendy, you too. What is Visco Girls DC? Okay, here we're at. Where are we at? Using planner trends instead of sticking with what you have. I think Layla's barking at somebody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that. Just say, I don't know what I'm going to put here, but I'm going to use this as a spot to put something. I'm thinking what I'll put here is my, whatever I do to get outside that day. Or whatever I do to move my body that day will be what I write next to these little stickers. I'm saying that now. I have no idea what I'm going to actually do that for. But I think it'll give me a spot to track something every day. And I think it'll be what I do to move my body that day. So yeah, that's my thought process. So the planner trends thing, instead of using what you already have, like, that's the thing I'm trying to break myself of this year, right? That's why I'm not buying anything. I'm just trying to use up what I have because it feels super wasteful to like start to use something and use stickers and buy a whole, like, oh, okay, so happy planners are super popular. So I'm going to buy 14 planners and 85 sticker books. And then 3 weeks later, the Sterling ink comes out. So I'm going to buy the Sterling ink, I'm going to buy the cover for it, and I'm going to buy some other cover, and I'm going to buy a bunch of accessories for it. But then my happy planner stuff is gathering dust. And then the Hobonichis come out. So I'm going to grab the Hobonichi, but it's not going to fit the cover because I got a different size. And so I need to get, and then what all the popular Hobonichi people are using, like the little darts and the fucking transparent sticky notes and all of that. Oh, I need to buy all of those. And so now my Sterling ink is gathering dust. And then it's the Erin Condren launch season with all of the fucking accessories that go with that. Like it feels like people are falling into the trap of buying all the things. I'm trying to divest myself of that. Okay. Mom shaming. Fucking mom shaming. When my kids were little, it was mom forums, like Baby Center, and there was I was on the Weight Watchers forums because I was deep. That was my time in diet culture, was Weight Watchers. And then there was the Mama something forums. I don't remember what they were called, but yeah. Oh my God. Everything. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. There will be moms who will yell at you about it. Other moms. Not just on the internet, in person. My ex-stepmother-in-law, when Sunny was 3 months old, I started giving, I'm going to get shamed for this. I started giving Sunny, hold on, what's going to go on Monday? So I have to put my dialysis in. That's first and foremost. When Sunny was a baby, they were 3 months old, and I was starting them very lightly on rice cereal with formula mixed in because my milk supply couldn't keep up. And Sunny had gotten they had gotten rid of their tongue, the little tongue reflex that babies have where they you put something in their mouth and they push it back out with their tongue. That tongue reflex is to help keep them from choking. My doctor said that because the tongue reflex was gone and because Sunny was not gaining weight the way that they should have, and I couldn't keep up with milk and formula wasn't doing the trick either, that we could start introducing a little bit of solids, even though it was earlier than the usual schedule. He's like, go ahead and start doing that. Keep an eye on them, very, very close eye on them to make sure that they're safe, and go like extra slow. Don't go at the pace that's normally recommended. Go a little slower. So we did that under the care of our physician, and my stepmother-in-law fucking at I think it was the 4th of July party or something. I swear to God, she just kept giving me the look, but she didn't say anything. She had a daughter. My ex-husband's sister is only 10 months older than Sunny, so she had her little baby, and she kept giving me these looks, and then when we got home that day, I got a fucking long-ass scathing email from her about how I shouldn't be giving my kids solid yet. And as a people pleaser, I had no idea what to do with that. It fucking sucks. Like, my measurement for a good parent is has your kid managed to not, stick a fork in their light socket? And if they did stick a fork in the light socket, are they still I stuck Sunny's head in a ceiling fan when they were young and they came out of it okay. I have no room to criticize other moms of what they're doing. The closest I will come is if they do things that impact my children. Then I might criticize. But generally speaking, I'm a live and let live kind of person because it's fucking hard to be a parent and nobody does it right. And the books that are written about it just make you feel worse about yourself. I'm looking at you what to expect while expecting. Those books suck. And they have great information in them, but they serve to make new parents feel absolutely inadequate. You just need to do the best that you can. Love your kids. Remember that they are human and not your property. Affirm them. And when you fuck up, apologize and train them to when they fuck up, that they apologize. And there you go. There you go. Sure, my oldest might be an adult and still living with me, but they have a lot of health problems. And in this economy, I wouldn't mind if any teenager ever moved out of their parents' house for 10 years. Who the fuck could expect? When I moved out, I was able to work in the Safeway bakery and afford to live with a roommate, and I was fine on that salary. I don't think that's possible these days. So let's be kind. Treat the children well, as the song says. But treat the moms well, too, and the dads, and the non-binary parents. All right. Yeah, Brittany, I am still deconsumerizing the planner. That's my mission. If this is the only channel that gives a fuck, then this is the only channel that gives a fuck. Thinking dupes are okay and somehow different than copycats. Okay, so dude, I am all about a good dupe. I'm about to run out of my sunscreen and was able to get my hands on the e.l.f. sunscreen, which is supposed to be a dupe for my more expensive sunscreen. But I will also say that if it's a dupe, especially if if you're in the makeup world, the best example here is Makeup Revolution. I think it's just called Revolution now. They not only do dupes of products where the product is very similar, works very similar, it's blatant copying. Like, it's like the same fucking packaging and everything, but a lot of brands do that. And here's the thing. It is copying. But again, in this economy, am I going to give someone shit for using a product that's a copy from online, that is hella cheaper if they really want that thing? No. What I will say, though, is if it's a dupe of something, but you weren't going to buy it when it was the full price, but you'll buy it because it's cheap, did you really need it in the first place? Do you want to buy the cheap version of it instead of the actual version of it? Why? Why do you want to spend that money? Spending $5 instead of $45, it's still spending bucks if you don't actually need it. On top of that, so much of this shit comes from fucking like China. I haven't even started on my thoughts on Temu and seeing people do sponsorships in the planner community from Temu and sponsorships in every community. I'm going to tell you right now, I get an email from them, at least one, if not 3 or 4, every fucking day to do a paid collaboration with them. The Temu, like the cheap stuff. And I'm like, do you see that I'm on a no-buy? You want me to do a collaboration for a company where you can shop like a billionaire and buy a whole bunch of hella cheap shit and show it off? No, I'm not going to do that. Because that's a lot of fucking shit. And I don't care if you say that you're trying to be environmentally conscious. If you are encouraging people to buy bags and bags of shit that they don't need, that's not environmentally responsible. It doesn't matter if you have the most sustainable fucking business model on the planet, which I'm sure they don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're still having people buy a whole bunch of plastic crap that they're not going to use more than like the one time that they use it anyway. So fuck that. And fuck people for pushing that shit on people. You don't need it. You don't need it. You do not need it. Temu, Shein, all those fucking places. You don't need it. If you are buying essentials from them or things that you really need or that you really, really want and you're buying it from them because it's less expensive, then okay, spend the money there. Like I know my sister has gotten clothes from Shein because it's really hard sometimes to get fashionable clothes for plus size people at other retailers. I get that. But when it comes to planner shit, you could get by with so much less stuff in general that you don't need to go shopping at what basically is the Chinese factory mega machine. You don't need to do that. You don't need it. You don't need it. And planner community people should not be promoting that shit. Especially people who already have hella shit. It's not a good look. Sorry. I have feelings. Anyway, Monday. I got to hurry up. I'm not going to be able to finish planning my week during this video because I need to stop at 4:30 so I can go do that. We didn't do dialysis ahead of time because I didn't want to run into feeling like crap afterwards and have to cancel my live stream for the 100th time. So I was like, we'll do it in the evening, but that means I got to wrap up here in like 10 minutes. So I'm not going to get through my whole week. I promise you this is not before the pen planning. I spent too much time ranting planning. All right. Ibaya, yours actually brought up something else that somebody mentioned in my comments, which was luxury planner sub boxes. Okay. So there's the luxury stuff that people want to gatekeep because they only want to buy the real, and they want to make sure that if you bought the real stuff, it's only the real stuff. Like if you like the look of a fucking Louis Vuitton bag or something, yeah, go fucking buy a knockoff. Like sure, you're supporting the black market, but I think that the price tag of luxury goods is artificially inflated anyway. So I have very little fucks to give about whether or not Louis Vuitton makes a profit. However, luxury planner boxes, I take with the biggest grain of salt because you just know that most of the shit that's in there is shit they got off of AliExpress anyway. How is that luxury? It's a luxury price tag. You're paying for the brand name of whoever's selling the box. You're not paying for the brand name of the products. All right. What else? I'll give you one more and then I gotta go. Okay, somebody says everybody drinks water. No one ever drinks regular soft drinks. Is it a sin? I will make you feel better. I drink regular soft drinks. I love Dr. Pepper. I don't drink it very much because I'm supposed to watch my phosphorus, and dark sodas are phosphorus heavy. However, my phosphorus numbers are great, so my doctor said I can still have Dr. Pepper in moderation. I drink ginger ale. I don't drink artificial sweeteners because they give me migraines. And here's my deepest, darkest secret. Are you ready for this? I'm going to whisper it into the microphone. You ready for my deepest, darkest secret? Occasionally, I drink an energy drink. One that has real sugar in it. So that's my thought on that. Okay. Putting down other influencers in a public forum for what they do or do not say. Okay, look. Whoops, I just hit the thing. I get that people really want to like hold people accountable, hold their feet to the fire for something. It is exhausting sometimes to keep up with everything. And I recognize that if it's exhausting for me as a white lady, then it's more exhausting for people of color, for marginalized communities. Totally get that. But it doesn't mean that I don't post about every shooting that there is. I would lose my mind if I posted about every shooting that there is, despite the fact that I'm a pacifist and I think guns should be outlawed. Don't come at me, Second Amendment bros. You know? Same with any other thing that I strongly believe in. Like all the shit that's going wrong for trans people, I bring it up from time to time, the legislation, because it fucking annoys me. As annoy is not even the right word. It bothers me as a parent of a trans kid and as a family member of trans people and as a fucking compassionate human being. But at the same time, I can only handle so much before I'm about ready to just like leap off a cliff. And I am fucking in kidney failure and only have so much energy. So I'm not gonna hold every single influencer to the fire for every single thing that comes up. On the same note, though, if somebody that you have been like, as somebody, I mentioned Jesus goal setting earlier, as somebody who used to be an affiliate for and profit off of talking about power sheets, when they got bought out by that super religious company and then really realized how religious they were, I made a video about it and I talked about it because it was important for me to show where I stood on that issue. So keeping silent sometimes makes me raise an eyebrow, as in, you're keeping silent on this, and then I look at who you follow, and it's fucking Candace Owens and Andrew Tate, then maybe I'm not going to follow you anymore. However, I also think that going on like the crusade against influencers for not speaking out about whatever issue happens to be going on is, I think it kind of sucks because you're really like you don't know what they're feeling. So raise your eyebrow if you want to, but maybe let it breathe for a minute. Okay. I'll give you two. Okay, I've got two more that I'll give you. And then I'll probably talk more about these in another video because I still have plenty. But one is promoting a different planner product as their favorite every week for payment. Yeah. I'm not going to be shitty, but I will say that there are some planner reviewer people out there who I feel always have a coupon to give, always have like free product to review or whatever. And I think that's why I try so hard to purchase the stuff that I'm reviewing and not have a coupon or whatever. I do sometimes, but not all the time. And the one that I am a big affiliate for, Moxie Life, is the one I use. And I mean, fuck, I made the cover for this one, you know? So I think that there is a level of, it makes it really hard for me to take someone's review seriously when it's so obvious that it's in some form or another, they're in bed with the company. That's how I feel about that. And then creators who can't post a single thing that isn't selling you something. Yeah. Like, I get it. It's your job. If you're a creator, you're trying to make that coin, go for it. Make that coin. But like, this brings me right back to the Planner Home Shopping Network. That's what I want to kind of call Instagram sometimes. I want to call it Planner QVC because that's what it feels like. All right, let me glance through the comments really quick. Andrea, can I do a plan with me with the sprouted planner? Okay, fun fact. This is a spoiler alert. You might get to see those coming up because I think I might be swapping to this for at least a month to test it out. Not for my personal planning, but for my work planning. So stay tuned. Liam, I'm surprised there's a community based on planners. The internet is, yes, there's a community for fucking everything. My big internet communities before the planner community were the Wheel of Time community, especially the written role playing community. And then before that, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer official posting boards. So I have no room to talk. All right. I have not finished my week planning, but I will work on it later. I cannot find the lid to my pen, but Statler's are allegedly supposed to not dry out, so it should be fine. Thanks for hanging out with me for this roast. I have to go start dialysis now. It was fun to hang out with you, and I will see you all soon. I'm still only doing one live per week, one live per month for the live plan with me's purely because of dialysis and everything else, but I may sneak one in during the week. But if you want to see me live and you're not, and you want to be, if you want to see me live every week, you need to be a patron for that because I do go live almost every week for my patrons. Or you can also find me hopefully live in 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever it winds up being, on the 13th for a workshop week. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you're going to go shop at Temu, don't feel bad about it just because I don't like it. I don't get to boss you around. It's your fucking money. It's your fucking life. Live it how you want to. But if you're going to ask me my opinions about it, then I'm going to give them to you. My parents used to say that was, well, they didn't say it was my toxic trait because that wasn't really the verbiage when I was a kid, but that's basically what it came down to, was that I speak my mind and I don't have a filter. Anyway, talk to you all later. Hasta la vista, babies.